King Thidrek of Bern had now lost many fine warriors of the Amlungs in Hunaland, and he was very low in spirits. King Thidrek and his master Hildibrand discussed this alone. The king spoke. Master Hildibrand, it is certainly the greatest grief for me to have done without my kingdom for so long, and have been here in Hunaland. Now I have lost all my warriors and friends, and all of my honor. Look here now, Master Hildibrand. How many of our friends have been killed? The good Margrave Rodingeir. King Gunnar of Niflungaland has also been killed, and Högni of Troja, who had been our close friends. What shall we do in Hunaland? Why should we grow old here? God knows that I would rather die before my kingdom of Amlungland and my good city of Bern than become decrepit here in Hunaland with dishonor. We have served King Attila long enough. Master Hildibrand answered, Sir, we have long been away from our kingdom, and we have lost much because of the advice of Zivka, and we face great odds dealing with the kingdom of King Erminrek. But I too would rather die in Amlungland than grow old with dishonor in Hunaland. And King Thidrek spoke. Master Hildibrand, what have you heard about my city of Bern? Who rules over it? And Master Hildibrand answered, Sir, I do not know who rules over it, but I have heard that there is a duke over it named Alibrand, and he could be my son. And it is said that he is the bravest of fighters and the greatest of warriors in all things. It is possible that my wife Oda was pregnant when I left Bern, and that he was born later. King Thidrek said, If your son were Duke in Bern, that would be a great stroke of luck for us. He would welcome us if he is as faithful as you have been. Hildibrand spoke. Sir, how do you wish to prepare for this expedition? And the king replied, We shall not return to Amlungland with an army, because of all the losses we have suffered here in Hunaland, and King Attila cannot give us his chieftains to help regain our kingdom. I shall go now to Amlungland secretly, and it would be good if we came into Amlungland with no more men than the two of us together. And I shall swear an oath that I shall never come back another time from Amlungland with dishonor. I shall either die or take my land. And Master Hildibrand spoke. This expedition may seem to be destined for little honor if the two of us go alone, but I am eager that we too make this journey rather than not come to Amlungland. Hildibrand continued. Shall we tell King Attila anything about this plan? And King Thidrek answered. Our decision is that I shall travel back to Amlungland, whether King Attila likes it or not. We shall keep this a secret from King Attila and everyone else until we are ready to leave. King Thidrek spoke now. Lady Herad shall go with us if she wishes. Go and tell her and ask whether she wishes to go or not. And Master Hildibrand went to Lady Herad and told her in private what King Thidrek of Bern intended. And Herad answered in this way. If King Thidrek wishes to travel away from Hunaland, then I shall certainly go with him. But I wish to hear it from his mouth, if it shall be so. And Hildibrand went to King Thidrek and told him how she had answered. Then King Thidrek went to her and spoke. Lady Herad, will you go home with me to Amlungland, whether I gain my kingdom or my death? I cannot remain any longer in Hunaland. I have lost so many of my dearest friends here. Master Hildibrand will go with me. He is my best friend. I have done without my kingdom for 32 years. And Herad answered, Sir, I will gladly follow you home to your country, and it should be God's will that you regain your kingdom after having done without it for so long. No day will come when I will be as happy as when you regain your honor. Prepare yourself quickly, said the king. We shall leave Susa this evening. And she said that it would be so. By the evening of the same day, Hildibrand had prepared 3 horses for the journey, and yet loaded a 4th with gold and silver and their clothing. They lifted Herad up onto her horse, and Master Hildibrand spoke. You will not wish to leave King Attila in dishonor by not speaking to him. And King Thidrek replied, Go with Lady Herad ahead to the city gate, and I will go to see King Attila. And King Thidrek went up to King Attila's hall where he slept, and he told the guards that he wished to go in to see King Attila. The guards allowed King Thidrek to go wherever he wished. They knew that he was such a great friend of King Attila that it would not hurt even if he went with his weapons to him. King Thidrek went into the hall where King Attila was sleeping and awakened him. King Attila spoke when he saw that King Thidrek had come to him alone. Welcome, dear friend King Thidrek. What do you want? Why are you going around with weapons alone? And Thidrek answered, Sir, you shall now hear, and I shall tell you why I am here with my weapons. Go with me for a private conversation. And the king stood up and did so. King Thidrek spoke to him. "Great King Attila, I have news to tell you. I have lost my good city of Bern and all of my kingdom, for they are in the hands of my enemies. That grieves me now so much that I can no longer remain here. I shall go home to Hunaland, and I shall regain my kingdom or die." King Attila asked, "Where are your men? How are you going to take your kingdom? In what fashion do you intend to do this?" And Thidrek answered, "I shall travel secretly into my kingdom, because I no longer have any army to attack my land with strength." King Attila spoke. "My good friend, King Thidrek, rather remain here with us a while. But if you do not wish that, then I will give you the army of the Huns, so that you can take your kingdom. Do not go away in dishonor from us." And Thidrek spoke. "Sir, I expected that you would act so nobly. Take my thanks for your friendly offer, but I will go home now alone secretly with Master Hildibrand. I will not again waste your noble warriors to regain my land." King Attila went out with him to the city gate, and there they parted and kissed each other. King Attila wept and suffered much grief that he had to let King Thidrek go away in this manner, and with no more honor. But King Thidrek bade King Attila and his kingdom be under God's protection, and said that they would again meet as friends. He sprang onto his horse Falka, and they all rode their way. Master Hildibrand rode first with the pack horse, and then came Thidrek and Herad. They turned their horses toward the Mundiu, and King Thidrek planned to ride that way. They traveled night and day and met no one, and they did not go into any towns. One night, they rode before Bacala. King Thidrek spoke and turned his horse toward the castle. "I grieve, Bacala, for your lord, Margrave Rodingeir, who was the most generous and best of men. When I had lost my country to my uncle, I came here to Bacala. The Margrave and his lady Gudilinda came to meet me. She gave me a green battle standard that brought many Huns to their death. She also gave me a fine cloth of purple, which was fine clothing for an exiled chieftain. I grieve greatly for my good friend the Margrave. If you were alive, I would not be passing by here without visiting you." Master Hildibrand replied. You certainly are telling the truth. The Margrave was a good warrior. We saw the proof of that in Hunaland, when I had lost my horse. If he had not been there, I would have lost my life. That I owe him, at least. They now rode their way through Luru forest, and they spent the day in the forest and traveled at night. And thus, they were on their journey through the darkness, on their way to Amlungland to regain Thidrek's kingdom. They travel onwards and onwards until we hear from them again in the next episode of the Thidrekssaga, back here at Sagenheim.